What's going on, guys? It's Brick City Boxing back on the check-in here to talk some boxing with you guys. Finally, we got some boxing to talk about. The past month and a half has not really been a whole lot of stuff going on. It's been, I think we got two fights, maybe one on HBO, one on Showtime, and it was Khan versus Molina, Matisse versus Dallas Jr. Didn't really do the trick for me, but it is what it is, man. It's boxing. We watch it, we watch it just to get our fix, and we wait for the big fights to get signed. And there's been a lot of fights that have been postponed, and a lot of fights that have been pushed back and canceled. This has just been a rough time for the sport, but it's finally going to start picking up in April. In March, Timothy Bradley returns. I'm always happy to see him fight, but it's not really going to be against a top-quality opponent. And in April, it really picks up. We get Garcia and Judah, and we're getting what looks like to be, that was just signed today, or just officially announced today at Radio City Music Hall in Manhattan on April 13th, Nonito Donaire and Guillermo Rigondeaux. That's the fight that we're going to be talking about today, and I'm going to be breaking that down. And after that, in May, we should be getting Mayweather versus to be announced, and Canelo versus to be announced, and I guess Adrian Broner too. So that's pretty cool too. I hope that the competition for both Mayweather and Canelo is up to par. Mayweather's got a little bit a thinner landscape to choose from, and I think it's going to be Guerrero. And Canelo, who knows? Who knows what they're going to do with that guy? I'd love for it to be Austin Trout, but you would think that would be the obvious choice. That would have been a no-brainer, and you would think it would have been easy to put that fight together, but for some reason they're not putting it together, so who knows? Look out for somebody like Angulo. At any rate, yeah, so this is the fight, man. Nonito Donaire and Rigondeaux. This is an absolute, on BoxRec right now, it's posted on BoxRec, and it's listed as a 5-star fight. I'd have to agree, and if I could, I'd add another star and make it a 6-star fight. This is a fight that a lot of people have been waiting patiently for the past year and a half. This is a fight that Rigondeaux has been adamant about getting, and this is a fight that Donaire has not been he has not been in a rush to face this guy. But I give them both credit for stepping up and taking the challenge, because this is something that does not happen often in boxing. And we're waiting for a couple fights to take place, and this is one of them that we're actually going to get to see. So, hats off to both the guys that are actually stepping up and taking the challenge. And this is what it is. I'm going to break down both fighters, what I think that they need to do, and I'm going to break down a couple categories that to me are important in boxing in general. And I'm going to see, we'll see where it lands. I've said before that I've not always been complimentary on my channel to Donaire as a fighter, but I am very well aware of his skills, and I am very familiar with him. So this is going to be as unbiased and as direct and as fair as I can possibly make it, because I do dig his style. It's some of the stuff outside of the ring, and some of the ways that he some of the ways that he avoids answering certain questions, and some of the ways that he avoids certain fights that was kind of getting under my skin. But he is a highly talented fighter, and it is what it is. So with that being said, I think in speed, I think Rigo has a slight edge. I think Rigo's a little bit quicker than Donaire. I think his reflexes are a little bit better, and I think he gets his punches to the target a little bit quicker. He doesn't load up on shots. He throws a lot of straight shots, and they seem to, really land precisely and quickly. So I give Rigo the edge in speed. And defense, again, I give him the edge in defense. He doesn't get hit often. When he does get hit hard, it seems like he gets a little bit shook up, but he doesn't get hit often. So when he does get hit, it's a shock. Donaire, not so much, man. He got outlanded by Jeffrey Matabula, I think, by 100 points. 100 punches or something like that. And it's not uncommon for him to leave a fight looking, even in the Vasquez fight, it's not uncommon for him to leave the fight looking really marked up. And this is not only a matter of facial tissue. This is a matter of, he gets hit quite often. So to me, the edge in defense is obvious for Rigo. Power I give to Donaire, but there is a question mark behind that, because I'm not too sure that it's obvious that he's the harder puncher. I think that Rigo has got a lot of pop on his own, and when Rigo catches somebody, it's only one shot, and he puts him down. And to the body, I don't think anybody's punching harder pound for pound than Rigo. So, but I think I do give, for now, I give the edge and power to Donaire. Chin, Donaire all the way. I don't even think I need to go over that too much. He can take a punch. He absorbs a lot of punishment. And Rigo, the obvious question marks have, as of late, and especially as of late after his fight with Robert Marroquin, the question marks about his chin is major. Experience, that's not even a question. Donaire, I think Donaire's got like 3 times the amount of fights that Rigo's got. He's got the much better resume by far, and he's definitely the more seasoned professional fighter at this point. Stamina, I'm not sure. I've seen Donaire take a couple rounds off. I've seen him look a little bit winded, and especially when he's trying to press the action and he's trying to give the fans their money's worth. I have seen him, I've seen him look a little bit gassed. Rigo, not so much. Not a lot of people are willing to open up and really put him to the test, and as a result of that, he's very frugal with the amount of punches he wants to throw. When he throws a punch, he normally lands it. He doesn't waste a whole lot of energy. Every now and again he moves around a little bit, but for the most part he stands in one spot in the ring, allows somebody to throw a shot, and he just picks them off. So I've never seen Rigo really gas. And if this fight does go the distance, where the stamina will have to play a factor into the 12th round, then I think that fight's been fought at Rigo's pace. And if they fight the fight at Rigo's pace, I think that he's going to have the edge in stamina. I think he's going to do less and get more out of it than Donaire is going to have to do. Footwork and overall balance, I think I definitely give the edge to Rigo. I think Rigo's got better footwork. I think he moves around the ring better. I think that he's always defensively in a position to counter, and a lot of that has to do with his foot positioning, So and Donaire, we see him. A lot of times he's, jumping in the air, throwing like a lunging uppercut kind of shot, and doing some wild stuff. I guess that's his form of showboating, but it doesn't do much for footwork, and it doesn't do much for his balance. If he does that with Rigo's going to thread the needle and catch him with a shot, and he'll probably put him down. So I give Rigo the edge of footwork and general overall technical abilities. I also give the edge to Rigo. Now, what you're probably saying is that it sounds like this whole list is all in the favor of Rigo, and that means that I'm calling an easy win for Rigo. I'm not. I think that the categories that Donaire has the edge, and that's in the experience, his chin, and possibly his power. I think that those are major categories, and those are the equalizers. That's what evens the score. I think the fact that if Donaire can take Rigo's shot and Donaire is able to land big on Rigo, he's got the kind of power that can put Rigo out and can really do some damage. And I think his experience is something you can't overlook either. So in my mind, I've said it before on my channel, and I'm kind of saying it again. I think it's a pick'em fight. I'd be surprised to see that the Vegas odds would have it more than 2-1 in Nolito's favor. And a lot of that has to do with which side the money's going on. But I still do think it's a 50-50 type pick'em fight. But at the end of this video, I'm still going to give you a prediction of who I think, for my money, is going to win the fight. Donaire's strategy, I think he's got to throw straight shots. I think he's got to work on, if he tries to load up his shots, he tries to loop his shots, loop left hooks and stuff like that, I think he's going to get caught every single time. I think Rigo will be able to slip the punch. He's not going to be doing the Ali shuffle in the corner of the ring and get caught, doing something stupid. He's going to slip those punches and catch them. Donaire really needs to get on throwing straight shots. The straight shots get there quicker than the looping ones, and he's going to need to pick it up as far as speed goes in order to fight fire with fire against Rigo. And he really wants to work on landing, if he's going to land a hook or land a left hand at all, he wants to do that when Rigo's jumping in and going down to the body, because his chin is going to be exposed, and the angle is going to be there for him to land a shot. Doesn't have to be the hardest shot, but if he can just tag him and catch him coming in, which is not often, but we've seen it happen in the Cordoba fight. If he can do that, I think he'll be able to put him on his ass. Donaire, if I was him, I think he needs to not press the action. I think that he needs to let the fight come to him, which will be hard. It's hard to get Rigo. Rigo's got no problem standing in front of you and posturing and making you look dumb for as long as you want to do that. But I think that Donaire, I think it's going to be very hard for Rigo to win rounds like that, and I think Donaire should be aware of the fact that he is the fan favorite. He's the person that puts butts in the seats, and that if Rigo wants to just stand around and posture and wait for it and make it a boring event, then Donaire, all you got to do at the end of the round is let off a flurry. The crowd's going to react, and he can probably steal a lot of rounds, a la Pacquiao and Bradley, or a la you know, De La Hoya and Whitaker, something like that. He can steal rounds with the last 30 seconds, a little flurry or something like that. If he follows Rigo around and tries to get overly aggressive, he's going to get drilled. He's going to get countered a lot, and it's going to be, you know, Omar Narvaez was a small fighter, 115-pound fighter fighting Donaire, and he was doing a lot of that. If Rigo does it, he could really hurt Donaire and really make him look foolish. So I think he needs to not press the action and allow Rigo to make Rigo gamble and make Rigo take the risk. I think that Donaire really needs to work on a lead right hand, developing his right hand a little bit more, throw it straight, and when Rigo's pawing with his jab like he likes to do, when Rigo's rehearsing his punches in midair like he likes to do, I think he needs to work on slipping in a lead right hand in there and catching him off guard. If Rigo leaves either hand out there for too long, and Donaire does counter with a straight shot, again, it could spell some trouble. Well, that's pretty much it. I think Donaire needs to focus. This is going to be one of those fights. If he does win it, he can worry about looking good the next fight. Just worry about winning this fight. This is a very important fight for him to win. So I think he needs to leave ego and looking good and all that stuff. You know, check that at the door and just worry about winning the actual fight. Those are the keys to victory for Donaire. Moving on to Rigo, I think that it's plain and simple. He needs to win 7 out of 12 rounds. It's obvious. You know, as obvious as that sounds and as stupid as that sounds, he needs to win 7 out of 12. And not only does he need to win the 7 out of 12, he needs to win 7 of those 12 rounds big. It has to be obvious to everybody watching and counting up and tallying up a scorecard that they say, okay, he won 7 out of 12, he wins the fight. It can't be one of those things to where Rigo, with his extensive amateur background, is looking to outpoint him and looking to say, well, I think I won that round because I landed the more shots. It's not going to go down like that. He's going to have very limited support from the crowd, and he needs to win the rounds that he wins big. The more quiet the crowd is, probably the better for him. You know, if Donaire is throwing flailing shots and throwing some stuff, and Rigo's being in defense mode, that's not going to be a good look for him. You know, so my next point is also he needs to take the initiative a little bit and try to gamble. You know, and I'm not saying get reckless, but every now and again he needs to kind of open up a little bit more. He's not quick to let his hands fly, and that's something doesn't make him necessarily a crowd pleasing fighter. But and he's gonna need to impress some people. The opposite, conversely from Donaire, Rigo has to look good and win at the same time. I really do believe that. I think he needs to be able to win and look good. And another key for Rigo is he has to work the body. Most fighters don't like it to the body. Donaire especially doesn't like it to the body. If you see the fight with Rafael Concepcion, he was actually able to put Donaire on his bike and actually have him moving all over the ring. He got hit to the body. Donaire's a little bit flabby around the midsection, a little bit doughy. So if Rigo can work the body, and I believe that he's a pound for pound body puncher. I really don't think anybody does it better to the body than Rigo. So if he can work the body and work it effectively, I think that will play into the fact that Donaire will start to take some rounds off. He's going to have to respect him a little bit more, and he'll be able to get it off. He's got to watch out for him going to the body and Donaire coming over the top of his left with the left of his own and catching him with a hook. So, and last but not least for Rigo is no mental lapses. He cannot afford to be caught doing something stupid. He did it once or twice against Marroquin. Donaire is a cut above. If he gets caught doing something stupid and trying to showboat, it's not going to be a good look for him. It's going to be, it'll be one of those things that it'll be like a Zab Judah type of thing that people replay over and over. And if he does get caught, Donaire's got the power. He can punch well above his weight. I believe that Donaire's power will carry into 126. Donaire will put him out if he gets caught doing something stupid. Donaire will look to close the show. So that's pretty much it. I think both of these fighters are going to taste the canvas at least once. I think Rigo is going to get caught with somewhat of a flash knockdown and get caught, coming in and kind of get surprised. I think Donaire is going to get caught, and I think he's really going to get dropped and he's really going to get hurt. But I do see this fight going the full 12 rounds, and I think that Rigo is going to be able to edge it out 7-5 or something like that. Maybe a split decision, maybe a unanimous decision. But I do see the fight for Rigo. The more I think about this fight, and the more I say to myself, how does Donaire win? All I'm seeing in these comment sections is Donaire KO, Donaire KO 6, Donaire KO 5, Donaire this, Donaire that. Listen, if Donaire doesn't land that big shot, and Rigo does not present the opportunity for him to land that shot, he is not going to land it. Rigo is a very, very good defensive fighter, and he lands his shots, and he's very precise. If Donaire doesn't land that shot, I don't see how he can beat this guy over the course of 12 rounds. I really don't, to be honest with you. I think that if it goes the distance, which I'm expecting it to, I think that Rigo takes it, and I think that this changes the landscape. From 118 to 126, it completely changes the landscape. I think that maybe after this fight, Donaire moves up to 126, and even maybe tries to get out of his contract with Top Rank and tries to fight Mares or Juanma Lopez or whatever it is that's up there. But I got Rigo winning, unanimous decision. So leave your comments. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if this was a fair analysis, and I'll get back to you guys when there's more news and there's more stuff to talk about. Peace.